Hello and welcome everyone to the latest episode of the Daily Red. And it's an instant reaction to Liverpool's Champions League draw. Reds, Paris Saint-Germain await Liverpool in the round of 16. Are you happy with that? I tell you, would it be nice to have got another draw of that at least anyway? Benfica, but at the end of the day, if you want to be winning the Champions League, you've got to very much beat the big teams on the roads. And we'll get straight into it, really. But if you are new to Anfield Index, whatever, if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on X as well, make sure you do head over to the YouTube channel as well. You're absolute legends. Very closely closing in on 10,000 subscribers as well, and there's plenty of great content to get stuck into. You've got a great interview from Dave Davis, interviewing David Lynch, talking all things Liverpool transfers going into the big summer, which it will be a big summer. And there's obviously a couple of stat shows yesterday. A couple of them are getting released this afternoon on the YouTube as well. So if you're wanting to delve more into the tactical side, the data side as well, there's very much Dr. Bars and Dave Davis. They analyse and break up the potential, hopefully, future couple of signings really for Liverpool, because there's a couple of very high caliber forwards that potentially could be moving to Liverpool. I won't spoil it for you, but go and check it out anyway. But Reds, yeah, obviously Champions League draw reaction, the round of 16. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as well, Reds. We'll get straight into obviously the very much to see where everyone's path on the road to Munich does fall, really, of course. For Liverpool, as you can see there, Paris Saint-Germain heavily beaten Brest 10-0 on aggregate over the space of two legs, which is mad, but fair play to Brest, really. They've done really well in the build-up to this Champions League anyway, and they were given a draw against the French champions anyway. Yeah, so Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, that's on our side of the draw. The team that potentially we could be facing in the quarterfinals, if we do get past Paris Saint-Germain, will be, of course, either Aston Villa or Club Brugge. Club Brugge, who done extremely well, knocking out the team that knocked us out Europe last season in the form of Atalanta. That was probably one of the biggest surprises of the Champions League, especially this season, really, because I think a lot of people had the Italian side going through against the Belgium side that have got a good, very young squad, really. But it was an interesting one, but they've been rewarded. Well, not rewarded, because Villa are a very hard team, but I think if you're looking at, if you're a Club Brugge fan or a Villa fan, you're looking at that and go, oh, great opportunity to get into the last eight. And obviously either play Paris Saint-Germain or Liverpool. And yeah, shout out to the fella that done the draw, by the way, as well. Not for our draw, but mainly for his little grimace of his face there. I don't know if anyone twigged onto that. He must have been a Barcelona fan. The fella, the ex-player or whoever it was anyway. But yeah, when this draw come out, Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid in the round of 16, absolute carnage, to say the least. That is going to be a spectacle. I think all eyes on European football will be on that game, really. Diego Simeone's dark arts against Real Madrid's dark arts as well, to say the least, really. And obviously Arsenal against PSV Eindhoven. PSV, the Dutch champions, very much knocking out, surprisingly, by certain quarters of European analysis, really, in Juve. 4-3 on aggregates in the previous round over two legs. Fair play. That was a big result. Ivan Perisic, the Croatian legend of the game, really. He's been in numerous big games for his international side and very much in European football, formerly of obviously Tottenham Hotspur not too long ago as well. So he helped his PSV side knock out Juve. And so, Arsenal, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're probably screaming at your telly when you did see this draw, because you are either going to be getting, if they do progress, the Gunners, either Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. And then if you get past them, they're either facing Liverpool or Paris Saint-Germain or even Club Brugge or Villa as well. So, yeah, it's not going to be that left-hand side of the draw for us is, yeah, it's going to be absolutely tasty. But you go to the other side of the draw as well. You've got Benfica against Barcelona. If you missed that game in the group stage already this season, that was absolutely ridiculous. Some of the goals that were getting scored at the back end of the group phase anyway was ridiculous. So poor, awful defending. But I think if you're a Benfica fan, you're looking for very much revenge against that Barcelona side. That, yeah, it was. I think if you did miss that game, the Benfica manager was absolutely furious. He was berating the players on the pitch after the final whistle. So you got Borussia Dortmund against Lille. That's going to be an interesting tie, but you'd expect similar with Aston Villa and Club Brugge. I think both clubs will be very happy with who they've got in the round of 16 draw so far. And then you go to obviously that other side of the draw, very much Feyenoord versus Inter. Obviously, it would have been a Milan derby if it wasn't for Arne Slot's old team knocking out AC Milan, both very much Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen. That's going to be an interesting tie anyway. Only recently Bayern Munich did beat, they've beaten them a couple of times this season, but that was a draw recently in the last Bundesliga game between Leverkusen and FC Bayern Munich anyway. But chat, let us know your thoughts on that draw, really, because I think, have you anticipated, or anyone watching or listening this afternoon, do you think it's worked in terms of UEFA's idea of creating a new format of the Champions League? Obviously, you've got a couple of smaller, lesser teams, no disrespect to them, but you've got Aston Villa, even though they won the Champions League, and obviously Club Brugge, and you got Lille and very much Borussia Dortmund, and even Feyenoord have managed to creep through into the knockout stages of the Champions League, and obviously Bayern Munich were very close to going to extra time with Celtic. So a couple of the smaller teams, and even Benfica as well. Obviously, Benfica won the Champions League already in their history, and even PSV. So it's going to be interesting. Do you think it's protected a lot of the bigger clubs? I don't think so. I think it's just look at the draw, really, in all honesty. Whoever you get, as I said at the top of the show, of all of us have watched many European games. We're very fortunate enough to have won this competition 6 times anyway. So if you want to go for the 7th, lucky number 7 anyway, then we've got to beat all the big teams. And certainly if we do get into the semis, you've got to either beat Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, or even PSV. So bring them on, really, chat. Yeah, let's get to all your comments as well. Big up there, Yanis. Hopefully I pronounced that right, bud. What's the point in the league phase if you don't play the last ranked team that's made it to the round of 16? Yanis, it's ask UEFA, bud. Anyway, it is crazy because I think all Liverpool fans, all of us, were like, oh yeah, we finished top and we've been drawn up against Paris Saint-Germain. I don't think that's how the rule makers anticipated the Champions League format to be working anyway. But you look at a couple of teams, you look at Real Madrid, you look at Paris Saint-Germain, you look at Manchester City as well, going into obviously the knockouts. There was a couple of big teams, as we just went through a couple of those teams anyway. Juve out, City out already, Atalanta out, AC Milan out as well. So big teams have very much fell by the wayside, really. So it's going to be one of them, really, Reds. I think it's worked well, mate. But big up there, ballers. We should have been on the other side. That's up for the it's all set for no Spanish final. Potentially, mate, potentially. But yeah, I think in terms of just quickly looking at it, in terms of very much a couple of the Paris Saint-Germain team anyway, as you can see, hopefully that's changed over. Has it? Maybe 1 second there, chat. Just quickly reshare that screen. Obviously, a couple of big players anyway. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia, who we were linked in the previous window, just gone there anyway. But they got a couple of interesting players within their starting 11. I think one of the most exciting midfielders in European football is the former Benfica midfielder, João Neves. I think if you've not seen this lad play, hugely talented midfielder. You can do absolutely everything. And I think he's one for very much the future, really. I think in terms of European football, for me, I think he's got the biggest potential within European football in terms of the position in which he does play in that midfield anyway. Obviously, no Kylian Mbappe. He's left. Messi's left, obviously, to the MLS. Neymar left a couple of years ago anyway. But obviously, this by PSG side did beat Manchester City 4-2 recently in the Champions League phase. They did get beat by Bayern Munich, and they did get beat by Atletico Madrid, this Paris Saint-Germain side as well. And I think they got beat by Arsenal. I think it was. I quickly look on the. But in terms of the Pacho, obviously signed from Frankfurt anyway. Very, very extremely quick centre half anyway. Marquinhos, you know all about him. Hakimi, Mendes, Fabian Rui, who had an absolute worldy of a Euros anyway, helping that Spain side. Off the back of this, he hasn't really had an amazing season, to say the least, really. But up front, Barcola, Dembele and Kvaratskhelia, really. So they've got rid of all the superstars. Will this benefit them in the long run? And then you got a couple of Goncalo Ramos coming for big money as well. Kimpembe, very experienced. Obviously, former Paris Saint-Germain captain. I think is he still Paris Saint-Germain captain? They've changed anyway. Marquinhos, as we know. But yeah, a couple of interesting players, to say the least, really, Paris. But at the end of the day, Reds, I think if you're a Paris Saint-Germain fan, and even the technical directors, and you can only see by the way in which the Paris Saint-Germain hierarchy reacted on the Champions League draw. A couple of them didn't. They looked very displeased, really, with getting Liverpool anyway. But at the end of the day, Reds, if you want to be winning number 7, you've got to be beating every single football club. Of course, Liverpool in the Champions League, Premier League, we've been doing really well this season. I know we've had a couple of draws the last couple of weeks anyway, Reds, but the players, they've won the Champions League. Salah, Virgil van Dijk, a couple of the other lads as well. So we know what we need to do. And at the end of the day, if you want to be winning any competition, especially a Champions League, you've got to beat everyone in front of you, really. And let's hope Liverpool on the road to, it's going to be an extremely difficult knockout phase anyway, going to semis and all that. But at the end of the day, this is what you live and breathe, really, watching Liverpool in the big moments and the big European ties. This is very much what we thrive in. And the fact that, and I was speaking to a couple of lads before we come on air as well, I said, Real Madrid in the knockouts as well. But everyone was saying to me, would you much rather play Real Madrid over 2 legs than in a final? I think it gives you a bit more of a better opportunity to eliminate them, really. Of course, Liverpool have already beat this Real Madrid side in obviously the group stages at the beginning of the year, this phase of the Champions League anyway. So obviously 2-0 win at Anfield. And let's hope we can very much repeat that if we are to progress into the latter stages of the Champions League campaign as well. So yeah. This weekend, do you see big up there, Yanis? This weekend, do you see City matching Villa's intensity? And it's going to be interesting, mate. It's going to be extremely interesting, bud. City is City. You can never, no matter, you look at Liverpool, in recent weeks, we've not been playing our maximum. Well, not our maximum, but we've got 2 very difficult draws away from home anyway. Of course, we should be winning those games considering how well we've been playing, mate. But yeah, it's difficult when you analyse City, especially as Manchester City side, bud. It's one of them. When you've got caliber of players that they have, Tim de Haaland, if he is to start and he's fully fit, Kevin De Bruyne, yes, he's not had the greatest season, but the player I'm interested to see how he does against Liverpool and how he comes up against Trent is very much Marmouche. I've watched him a couple of times in terms of highlights or whatnot this season for that Frankfurt side, and he is being absolutely ridiculous, to say the least, really, the Egyptian forward. So yeah, big money move, but I think he'll do really well in the Premier League. He's got all the attributes to very much thrive. But enough about them, Giannis. Hopefully on Sunday we'll absolutely smash them and demolish Manchester City, and it will be a very much a marker, hopefully, going into the next couple of weeks as well. If you can come out at the back of this difficult fixture period with 11 out of 15 points, considering we played City away, Aston Villa away, Everton away as well, I think maybe, just maybe, that would be deemed a very much a good, for me personally, a good set of results, really. Of course, you won 15 out of 15, but you can't have Everton, really, sometimes. Quickly, obviously, a couple of other news as well. Chat. We've got the Chat G&G coming out this evening as well, Red. So make sure you do tune in for that. That is going to be live at 7:30. That's going to be Gag Standen and, of course, Eddie Gibbs taking you through all, obviously, the build-up to the City game. And most importantly, reflecting on, obviously, the results that we've had over the last couple of days really for Liverpool. But if you head over to Anfield Index as well in terms of the website, give me one second there, just share screen. And we've got plenty of news here as well in that regard. So if you head over, obviously you've got Mo Chatra done an absolutely fantastic video, and obviously you can listen to the audio podcast as well in regards to just him closing down, obviously the Liverpool closing down the financial gap on Manchester United. It's a very, Mo, he's so good at his, obviously, finance and everything. That's his background, but he's done really well. Check it out, Reds. It's on, obviously, the YouTube, and if you head over to Anfield Index, you can very much listen to it as well. But if you want to become an Anfield Index Pro member, most importantly, to alleviate all the ads and listen to all the podcasts and all the great, obviously, insight from, obviously, Mo Chatra and all the very well-respected journalists that we do get over here at Anfield Index. Obviously, just had David Lynch on yesterday with Dave Davis. Definitely check out his insight, really, in terms of Liverpool's business in the transfer window to come. And Dave asked a lot of very good questions in regards to numerous situations surrounding Liverpool. So all the videos are out there from yesterday, of course, and there's a couple of videos coming out today as well. So yeah, plenty to get stuck into. So it's a great read, really, and obviously Mo Chatra very much broke down the financial sense in terms of Liverpool. And this is where, going into the summer, like all of us know, Liverpool, if we do progress into the latter stages of European Champions League, and of course do finish really well in the Premier League, then Mo, of course, he broke down the numbers. But yeah, don't want to spoil it really for you. So check it out, really, Reds. It's a great read as always. And obviously you've got Dave Hendrick, obviously speaking about yesterday, in terms of his analysis, speaking about 87 points will be enough to very much win the Premier League, in his honest opinion. Again, podcast is out on Anfield Index as well. Check it out. And obviously Dave goes through all the fixtures, really breaking down his own thoughts, but most importantly, getting insight from all yous as well in the comment section below. And yeah, I think Dave's spot on, really, in regards. I do very much agree with him in that regards. Winning the league, winning the Champions League, it's not going to be easy, Reds, but I think we all should be very fully confident in what this this squad, and most importantly, Arne Slot has already done this season and will continue to do going into the back end of the season as well. And of course, there's an interesting article as well, obviously on Anfield Index, leading with the title, James Pearce confirms Liverpool will look to sell forward this summer in regards to Darwin Nunez. Of course, very much agreeing with, obviously, David Ornstein, David Lynch. Anyway, obviously, Dave Davis asked many questions yesterday, and obviously we had the Sam Maguire reports. Was it a week just gone anyway? Speaking about his obviously exclusive, speaking about obviously Darwin Nunez's potential move to the Saudi Pro League, but it's looking more and more expected, really. And this is obviously in this article on Anfield Index, just very much concurring, really, with what the lads have said already in the week from James Pearce. So yeah, it's expected that Darwin Nunez will leave the football club in the summer. Yeah, it's disappointing, really, because I think the big money move, Reds, it's difficult, really. It is really difficult in terms of, since he's come to Liverpool, it just hasn't really worked out. But at the end of the day, if Nunez scores a Champions League winner, like a certain Divock Origi did, then he'll be remembered for absolutely years. Anyway, obviously Divock getting the second goal against Tottenham anyway, but that very much solidified that at number 6 anyway. Yeah, so Reds, it's only going to be obviously let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as well. It's route to number 7 anyway. But Reds, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below as well. Let me know your thoughts on all today's news stories, but most importantly, let me know your thoughts in regards to Liverpool's Champions League draw. Really, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting, really, to say the least, in regards to Liverpool. But Paris Saint-Germain, bring them on. Most importantly, let's hope Liverpool can get past the French lads in the latter stages, in the round of 16 anyway. But Reds, for another episode, of course, Anfield Index, there's plenty of great content to get stuck into anyway. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section below in regards to the Champions League draws, your confidence going to the latter stages of the Champions League. I think bring on Paris Saint-Germain. We've got all the qualities, and especially the form Mohamed Salah is playing this season. I think he'll have a couple of goals against them anyway. But Reds, it's been an absolute pleasure to be in the latest instalment of Daily Red. In regards, obviously, Dave Davis will be joining you tomorrow for, of course, the weekend show as well. He's back off his holidays, and you've seen him already this week. So Dave will be covering the Daily Red at the weekend. But Reds, I'll next see you on the live for the Manchester City game. That should be good. Hopefully, that should be good. Fingers crossed we get a result there. But Reds, been a massive thank you for everyone that's tuned in. Yeah, absolutely. They won't handle Salah, as Red said there. Let's hopefully he puts a couple past them anyway. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Massive thank you. If you are watching on the repeat, do drop a like on the video as well. Massively helps out the algorithm and all that. But we will always get back to your comments in the comment section below. And if you are new to Anfield Index, you want to become a pro member, that's £3.33 a month as well. And if you are watching on YouTube or whatnot, make sure you always drop in the super chat. Goes a long way in terms of supporting everything we do here at Anfield Index. But for now, Reds, see you later. There's plenty of great content to get stuck into anyway across all social media platforms. Most importantly, want to listen to all the podcasts free of charge. Well, not free of charge, without any adverts, really. It's £3.33 a month, and you've got over 75 free podcasts a month, and of course over 600 plus free articles. And if you want to head over to AnfieldIndex.com to find out more details, you can certainly do so. But for now, Reds, have a lovely rest of your Friday. There'll be plenty of content coming out this afternoon as well on YouTube, so make sure you head over to the YouTube and hit that subscribe button as well, Reds. But for now, see you later, and bring on Paris Saint-Germain.